Welcome to my office. Make sure you are not underdressed. You have proper attire. Hello. I have not done a transit video for a while, and the recent transit of Mercury going into Pisces seems good. But we won't just be talking about that. We'll be talking about lots of energies, exciting, interesting energies that are happening in our neck of the galaxy. So to begin with, Mercury is in Pisces. It's the last cycle. In astrology, just as the cycle of the year starts with spring, with all that Aries energy and fervor and just excitement moving forward, it resolves with Pisces, so we have one cycle to the next. So it's kind of like, being that spring is just around the corner from making this video, I think 3 days away or something like that. I think it's called the spring equinox is the official name. Then, it's beautiful. It's the resolving of one cycle and moving on to the next. And this last year has been fascinating, and it's been really, really interesting. So many changes have happened, and some of them have been subtle. It's been, building. And some of them have been very quick in the world. And there's 1,000,001 things that I know we're all thinking of as per the changes. But yeah, it's been very interesting, and this next cycle is going to be just building on that and all sorts of interesting new changes to come. So it's exciting. It's cool. So it's the resolving of that. It's almost spring, exciting. We're all moving forward in our lives. We're all progressing. Interestingly enough, Mercury is a little bit behind, because when Mercury goes retrograde, Mercury's all over the place. Sometimes it's ahead of the sun, then it goes retrograde, and then it's behind the sun, and all sorts of fun stuff. But basically, Mercury is 0 degrees Pisces at making this video. And so, the same thing's happening with Mercury, our minds, our thoughts, our communication with others, our everyday life. It's the ending of one cycle, it's the resolution of all that, and it's moving on to the next, And we're going to get a huge burst of energy, as we always do whenever anything enters Aries. And it's the beginning of a new cycle. In the meantime, let's enjoy this really sweet energy of Mercury and Pisces. Already, we've had this energy earlier on in the year, because right before the retrograde, I think Mercury was 4 degrees Pisces. So it already kind of ventured into that nice little watery, dreamy territory. And it's here to stay, for the next 30 days or so, as Mercury's racing through the energy, through that sign. But it's, Mercury's in Pisces, and it'll keep moving forward until it gets into Aries. I don't know exactly the date it gets in there, but it's about a month, really. Mercury's so unpredictable, as those who are Geminis and Virgos know very well, being ruled by Mercury, such as myself. But yeah, it's interesting too, because Mercury in Pisces is directly conjunct Neptune in this time period. I think Neptune is about 4 degrees in Pisces, which, by the way, I've already done a video on, so if you're interested in that, please feel free. It's very in-depth. And I talked with my friend Teresa, my amazing, genius friend, about this energy. So that's there too. That was some months back. So I really encourage you, if you're interested, to check that out. But Neptune and Pisces. Neptune is found exactly where it's most comfortable, in Pisces right now. And it takes quite a while for this outer planet to transit this region of space in relation to Earth. And so we're going to be with this energy for quite a while, and we're really just in the beginning stages. Again, it's only 4 degrees. And I think it entered sometime last year. It's really exciting, that too, because like I was saying, it's the resolution of that cycle, and it's the beginning of a whole nother one, very, very soon. And in the meantime, let's enjoy the resolution. Pisces energy is so much fun, and it's nice to melt down the ego, and to be emotional, to be spontaneous, and to just go with the flow. Pisces energy is a time when we can all come together at its highest manifestation. It's a time that we can all come together, get past our silly differences, and really embrace ourselves, embrace each other, embrace life, and to not worry about things so much. The challenges of this energy, of Pisces in general, but especially with Mercury and Pisces, for example, is to get caught up in illusions and nightmares. Some people are going to be having dreams during this time. We'll get to literal dreams later, but some people are going to have, like, life is just going to be such a beautiful flow because of, you know, all the hard work they've put in this last cycle. You know, we all have the ability to appreciate and love life, and again, to make life a dream, but we also always, and I know we've all felt this at some point in our lives, if not many points, that life also has the very real potential of being a nightmare. And all of that lies with us. It's all within our reaction. We're not forced to act a certain way. And in our actions and reactions, that is the difference between life being a dream and life being a nightmare. So let's enjoy ourselves. Let's not worry. Let's not turn everything into a nightmare in this next month. Mercury in Pisces is I would say, in my perspective, the least logical out of all of the signs, and that's its beautiful gifts. You know, sometimes it's its challenges, and we'll all have to, you know, keep an eye on making sure we're not getting swept away with what's happening and not thinking. That is that challenge. But the beautiful gift is, for one, the heightened psychic senses, as I've said before in my Mercury and Pisces video. There's also, because it's the least logical sign, it's the most subjective, the most psychic sign. And I have many a fond memory of beautiful times when friends with Mercury and Pisces. Hell, Teresa's got Mercury in the house of Pisces, perfect example. Oh no, it's in the house of Aries. She's got a lot of other stuff in the house of Pisces, but I want to say it's on the cusp, so she's got a little bit there. But you know, there's many times when friends with Mercury and Pisces, my dad's got this too, and you know, they'll deliver a divine message to you. They will channel something to you. I love doing readings for friends with Mercury and Pisces, because almost always, in fact I want to say every time, they've said, oh, you know, thanks for the reading, it was really great, and it's like, oh yeah, you know, it's nice to have that. With Mercury and Pisces, we get really in touch with our emotions, and those who have it natally are always in touch with our emotions, are able to express it. It's a beautiful thing. It's like clear running water, you know, is their communications. It can get a little muddled sometimes, you know, but, you know, for the most part, especially when they're just delivering a divine revelation, it's clear running water. And again, you know, they'll say really nice things, and it's like, yeah, that's really great, thank you for saying that. Then they say, so I had this message from the universe I need to share with you, and I'm just like, fuck. Every single time, it's an amazing message. And I remember one time with my friend up in Reno, I had just got done reading his chart, and again, it's that clear running water of just, you know, Pisces can be a very lost energy, and like I said, in the next month, we will kind of be like, wait, what's going on sometimes? Don't worry, don't fear, just let it happen. And, you know, the universe is protecting you. Just have good intentions, treat others kindly, love them, love yourself, treat yourself kindly, and, you know, do what you love to do. And the universe will, I mean, even if you don't do that stuff, the universe will protect you. But if you do that stuff, then the universe will infinitely protect you. It's just good karma, you know, cause and effect. But anyways, yeah, I just got done reading my friend's up in Reno chart once, and he is Mercury and Pisces, and he just turned into like an oracle at Delphi, you know, one of the ancient priestesses who would just channel and just be so psychic and deliver messages that were taken very seriously by the Greek community. And it's amazing. So we're all in this area of, you know, this Mercury is impacting us just as Neptune is from this region of space to Earth. And it's very exciting. It's fun. I always love Piscean energies, yes, because of the resolution, and it's looking back on this last cycle, whether it's through our general lives, you know, with the sun now about to finish its resolution cycle in Pisces, or how much we've grown in our minds. Every year recently just seems like it's exponentially getting better as per us as human beings. I know there's a lot of shit happening, but again, if you look at human history, we are at the best time in human history. So for those who are so cynical and negative and pessimistic, this is the best time to be living thus far in human history, from my perspective. And I think that's pretty fair, considering ancient Greece and Rome had all these beautiful qualities, and Egypt and whatnot, but also Egypt had slaves and liked to dominate people, and ancient Greece and Rome was constantly under attack of being invaded by each other, let alone by Persia. There was war all over the place. In China, the war, I don't know what it's called, but basically the war that, the historical wars that inspired the game Dynasty Warriors. There's been so much war, and yes, there is still war, and we have this strange situation of Russia and the Crimea and whatnot, and all sorts of other horrible shit going on. But still, if you look at the world as a whole and humanity as a whole, this is the best time to be living. And this last year, we've been getting into the Aquarian age more and more. And a lot of people, a lot of astrologers especially, say different dates as to when that's happening. I really don't know. I just know the evidence around us, starting with the French and, well, I'll just say a little bit, because I've already done a video about this, so if you want to check that out, go for it. But starting with the French and American revolutions, the Industrial Revolution, space exploration, humanitarian rights, women's suffrage, and civil rights. These are all Aquarian aspects, the humanitarianism, the science development, and whatnot. And we've also seen the really ugly lower side of Aquarius, of being detached and cold, and hence the world wars and whatnot. But we've gone through it, and there hasn't been a world war since, and I don't know if there will be one in the future. Personally, I sense that there won't, because we are figuring things out as a world, but it's important we do figure things out. I do need to say that. Yes, things are better than they've ever been, but we need to make them better. And so I think that is kind of the spirit of what I sense the world is at right now, and I think it's important that we embrace that we look at where we're coming from, how awesome the progress we've made. And really, I think it's important to wait in this time, to sit still and really ponder, maybe meditate and think about it, going, wow, my life is so different from the last time, a year ago, basically, the last time, the beginning of this cycle and the end of the last cycle when the sun was in Pisces then. Wow. And then I think it's important to say, okay, so what are we going to do for next time, this next cycle? Well, we need to focus our energies at this time, Well, first we need to kind of float, as Pisces would, and resolve this last cycle, get past the challenging, traumatic things that happened, augment the love and the lessons that we've learned, and just prepare ourselves for the next cycle and its challenges and also its beauty. So yeah, that's Mercury in Pisces, that's Sun in Pisces. I wish you a very happy spring equinox. This will probably be the transit video for that. But yeah, again, focus your priorities. Again, Mercury's in Pisces, but that could be really good helping energy, as Sun is in brash Aries, brave Aries, in just a couple days now. I don't even know. I should know that, but it's in a couple days. I think it's like March 20th, 21st. That's when the equinox is. But be inspired too to reach for your dreams. And again, we'll get to the literal dreams, but reach for your dreams figuratively. And that Mercury in Pisces, as one of my best friends is Aries, Sun, Mercury in Pisces, and I'm always astounded by how much power she has, and also how much compassion. And it's a beautiful combination, really, of this Sun and this Mercury, because you have two very different gifts that come together in one human being. And sometimes it can be difficult to deal with these two energies at the same time. Again, all of us will be feeling, and especially as the Sun is actually in Aries, it's on the cusp right now, but we'll be feeling all of this, yeah, let's move forward and do this and do that, and then Mercury and Pisces will be, I'm just going to dream. so honor both of those needs. Move ahead and be inspired and divinely inspired with that Piscean influence when when it's time, and also dream when it's time, and just relax, hang out, switch from being very assertive and productive and moving forward with the being passive and receptive and just loving and relaxed. I mean, you can be loving with both energies, with all of the energies. They're all meant to be loving. But with the Mercury and Pisces especially, just relax and don't worry about things. both of those both those energies are impacting us at the exact same time. Sun's here, Mercury's there, always, all the planets. So just embrace it. So that's a little bit of that. Now, building off of, I think it was the last transit video I did a couple months back, Mars is very interesting, very interesting. Starting from, I want to say last November, Mars has been in Libra, and starting, when was that, early March? Early March, Mars went retrograde. And basically when Mars goes retrograde, we are challenged to deal with our tempers. Our tempers. And this will be very interesting considering, I didn't think about this, very interesting considering we're entering into Aries territory, and Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is in Libra, the partner sign for Aries, and Mars in Libra can be very challenging energy, but it also has a lot of gifts. Like I said, the weird stuff happening with Russia and the Crimea and whatnot, that is not going to work out for for bad intentions, those with bad intentions in that party. And I don't know too much about it, I can't speak about it knowledgeably, but I can definitely say from sense-wise and from viewing Russia's chart and whatnot, that there's definitely something really shady and weird going on with Russia. And the beautiful thing is this, is if you don't have good intentions at any point in life, that's karma. If you don't have good intentions, good things are not going to come to you. And with Mars in retrograde especially, it's whenever a planet's retrograde, it's our lesson. We have to go internally. We have to understand ourselves to a greater degree than we did before. That's why, in the beginning I used to not like retrogrades. I used to feel especially hampered by them, and especially hampered by Mercury. But now I love it because, first of all, it is what it is. In our solar system, when a planet's retrograde, you just got to deal with it. It is what it is. But the best thing is this, is it's got gifts to offer that we can't get any other way. And when Mars is retrograde, we're all being challenged to analyze our egos, especially, and to work with others, and to not be, I've seen this manifestation, to not be argumentative. Mars and Libra very much can be very coy and passive-aggressive and charming while still being assertive. But they definitely, being an air sign, and I've noticed with all the Mars and air signs, but Mars and Libra is a very, especially, they can love to argue, especially if they're bothered about something else. They will argue about all this stuff because they don't, they can't be direct and focus on that. And this is the energy we're all in right now. So we're all learning to live with this energy. We have been for some months now, like 4 months or something. It's funny, usually Mars is just, going through the signs, being Mars, moving ahead, charging ahead, and it takes about 2 years to go through all the signs, and it's been in Libra for something like 6 months. It's crazy. I don't know how common that happens in the cycle. I haven't studied Mars that long, but in the last couple of years at least, I haven't noticed this. So this is very interesting, and it's very good, it's very encouraging, because Mars and Libra is forcing us all, as individuals, as society, as a world society, we are finally getting to that stage of Aquarian living, of the Aquarian age. And again, I've done a video for this too. The stars point to world peace, Libra countries. It's a whole other topic. It's a hell of a lot of videos. We are meant to, as a world, come to a peaceful unity. And that's just logical, we all know that, we all sense that. Of course, certain nations and certain political leaders deny that, and they go in the exact opposite direction, trying to stir up hate and violence. And of course, violence is not the key to anything. It's good to defend yourself, of course, but violence is just promotes and killing. Take it from me. In my past life, I was addicted to being a warrior, and even though I fought with good intentions and good causes, I still killed, and I've definitely had to pay for it in this life, karmically. So let's not do that. That's basically, at this point in human history, with all of these energies at play, with Mars and Libra, and especially retrograde now, we're as a world, we're going, okay, maybe we shouldn't try and destroy each other, And for those who haven't quite caught on to that upper echelon of a wavelength, They're gonna be some conflict, and they're gonna be trying to incite in any way possible to get people to get stirred up. But as Mars and Libra, we're not all getting, we're not in our ego. That's a beautiful part of this energy is, yes, it can get argumentative, yes, it can get kind of, especially with their words, very sharp. But ultimately, it's a very peaceful, beautiful, loving energy. Robert Plant has this energy, and if you look at his lyrics in Led Zeppelin, so many of them, I mean, even the Immigrant song, that boom, 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 really heavy song. It's talking about Vikings and, come from the land of ice and snow. And that's at the very end of it, it's, peace, how's it go? Like, peace and love can rule the day. But you gotta give them a chance, something like that. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know how I don't know that. Mercury and Pisces, the lyric has floated away from me. Okay. But yeah, it's a very loving, peaceful energy. And that's where we are as a world. Again, some people definitely are not embracing that. And yeah, they'll figure it out eventually, it's just karma. I mean, obviously war and violence is not good intentions ultimately, even what I was saying about me in my past life, it's still not the best of intentions. It's destruction as opposed to growth. And, there's enough destruction already just by natural cycles and whatnot. We don't need to add to that. We need to always be growing, even through the destruction, using the destruction as growing. So, a little other thing about this energy is it's so encouraging at all the LGBT rights that we're gaining in the U.S. It's ridiculous it's taken this long. It really is. Sometimes, especially with all my Aquarian energy, and I know so many other people agree, I just look at the world, the state of the world sometimes, and I just go, it's fucking stupid evolved monkeys. Like, God, I mean, yes, we are evolved monkeys, but we have we're co-creators with the universe. We have all this beautiful capacity for wisdom, let alone knowledge, and love. That's our greatest gift. And yet some people are being so hateful. And ultimately they're robbing themselves of their life and their love more than anyone else. And it's very interesting, actually. I didn't think about this. How the founder of the Westboro Baptist Church, that hateful organization, especially towards LGBT individuals, poor brothers and sisters of ours. But yeah, the leader of that's dying. That's an interesting little thing. Mars in retrograde, very interesting. It's almost as if the hate has killed him. I know he's very old, but still, it's very interesting. And so that's really great, because Mars in Libra is also a very social justice-minded energy. Like I said, in the Mars in Libra energy, you got this energy is so charming, especially when found in a natal chart. So charming and so, suave and cultured and refined. But then they fight for a cause, and they become fucking warriors more than Aries ever could. They blow away Aries, And that's really encouraging, that Mars is retrograde in Libra, and it'll continue to be in Libra until when? July? Yeah, no, is that right? When is it? It goes, let's see, it goes direct in like May 20th, May 20th, and then I want to say, it's there for a while, at least June, I want to say July, so we're with this energy for quite a while, and I'm really encouraged and excited to see more and more equality. I mean, as it should fucking be. It's ridiculous, again, it's taken this long, but, the karma of this world, we're resolving together, and we're getting there. And, the good news is once it happens, it'll always be there. We're not going to regress. Aquarian age is all about moving forward to new heights, always moving up. So that's the beautiful news, is we're making solid progress that will last for an eternity. And it's about time. It's definitely about time. Fucking stupid evolved monkeys. And, I can be a stupid evolved monkey too. We all have that potential. It's in our biology. But we can also be really smart, loving, kind, tolerant evolved monkeys. And that's what I prefer personally, as an evolved monkey and living with evolved monkeys. And I'm sure you agree, because love is much better than hate. Understatement of the year. So, So that's happening. Alright, looks like we have a little bit more time. These videos are getting longer and longer. The last thing I really wanted to talk about transit-wise is Saturn. Saturn is also retrograde and in Scorpio. Saturn in Scorpio has been a fantastic time to dig deep into our emotions. All of us have been having this energy in our lives and facing our deepest emotional challenges. Sometimes it's challenging, it's scary. Sometimes it's overwhelming what we unearth. But it's definitely worth it. And I myself have really healed from this time. And I know so many others have. We all have in some form. But being, during this energy, I've been consciously, delving into my emotions, even if it was difficult. And it's been really helpful and healing. And I've seen so many around me do the same. And in general, people, we've all been delving into our, emotional depths. And also our karmic relationships that are very deep. I've had complete rebirths of certain karmic relationships in my life that I never would have thought would have happened. And I'm so happy that they've happened. It couldn't have happened without this energy. And what's exciting is Saturn's going retrograde. It's been making its progress. I think it was right about to enter Sag. I think it was like 6 degrees off or something before it went retrograde. And it's retrograde for quite a while. I think Saturn's retrograde for like 6 months every year, something like that. Ooh, I'm gonna check my hand on the retrograde chart. Yeah, Saturn's retrograde until July 20th. And March is retrograde. Oh yeah, I already said that. March is retrograde. Mars is retrograde. Mercury Pisces. Mars is retrograde, and Red is retrograde, and China is retrograde. Anyways. Saturn is retrograde for quite a while. And already, it just went retrograde, I want to say a couple weeks ago. I'd check, but we're running out of time. And this has been a really beautiful, again, whenever retrograde happens, it's internal. And I always like to say with retrogrades, we go backwards to go forwards. So even if it feels like with Mars or Saturn or whatever, in our lives, if we feel like we're going backwards, the obstacles are, breaking us down, they're really not. We just got to get over them. And we got to keep moving forward, ultimately. That's the story of life, really. But especially with retrogrades, we just got to keep moving forward. Because once you get past those obstacles, those back steps, it seems, then you get to the beautiful parts. You do make progress. You got to keep moving forward to make progress, But one foot in front of the other, one day at a time, one step at a time. And even if times are really tough, and for all of us they are at many times in our lives, we just got to keep going. And the cool thing about Saturn retrograde is fate. Saturn is the planet of karma, of fate, of structuring our reality, and dealing with past life stuff especially, and karmic chains and links and whatnot. And the cool thing is this, that phrase is so intimidating, karmic chains, but those chains were created by us. They can be broken by us. They can be dissolved by us. And how do they dissolve? With love, with learning, moving forward, not holding grudges against others, especially with Saturn and Scorpio and retrograde. We got to learn this, to not hold any kind of negative emotion towards others. Even if somebody makes us angry, makes us sad, makes us whatever, feel those emotions. Let that be a part of your life. It's necessary to feel emotions. But then rise above them, get through them, find the good in those emotions, find the good in that person, and don't hate that person, don't hate anyone. But don't hold it against that person, because ultimately they're just an evolved monkey too, and they have their own lives and their own karmic chains and whatnot. And once you accept people as they are, and even if they don't accept you or don't like you or whatever, then you free yourself of that negativity in your life and your emotional body. Our bodies are, like I said in several videos, we're very earth and watery beings. Freeing ourselves of negative emotions is freeing ourselves of negative vibrations, and we don't pick them up, we don't attract them into our lives. So that's a really important thing in this time, to resolve karmic stuff. It can get difficult, yeah, but move forward, move backwards to move forwards. And and delve into your deepest emotions. Now is the time to do so, because when Saturn's in Sag, we'll be on a completely different road. We'll be focusing on different things. So now is the time to figure out your deepest emotions. I had a really beautiful 4 or 5 hour conversation with my mom the other day during the full moon of childhood and divorce, and that for me has been one of the most challenging things I ever had to live through in this life, and it's still emotional blockages and trauma even from that time still have impacted me, and I have to sort through them, and through that conversation, as I told her, I'm like, this is really great, thank you for talking with me about this. I made a lot of progress emotionally, and I resolved a lot, and it was a beautiful, beautiful